All right, Dad. So I wanted to show you some air refueling. I would love to say successes, but some failures. Obviously, this is the one area that I really want to get good at because if you can air refuel, you can do anything. I guess is kind of how I feel. So I did just spend like an hour flying around with another F-18 that wasn't part of my wing, doing his own thing, trying to see if I could stay with him. And I was like, you know what? I think I could do some air refueling. So let me go try it. So I just wanted to show you some of the highlights of that. So I'll go ahead and get that queued up. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and fly. Just right off the bat, you can see I have my labels on. I will be turning those off, but this is where the tanker is. It's 6.2 nautical miles away. I'm currently heading at 340 and climbing. I think it's knots, might be kilometers per hour. I don't even know. But my speed is. Oh, here, let me do a flyby. Force my track IR to work. Okay, yeah. So I'm going at a clip of 400 whatever speed units towards this guy. I set up my TACAN so I could see it here instead of doing. You can see the blip on my radar. If I targeted him with my radar, I'd be able to see velocity stuff, like how fast I'm getting towards him and stuff. But I thought that was cheating, so I didn't do it. But I set all that up, but I never turned my TACAN over here, or TACAN on over here. I just let him know I'm coming in. You can see him right there. So he's saying he's at 10,000 feet. So at 9850, that's probably about right. Because the fuel lines come down with the basket. I think drogues or whatever. So that's probably okay. But you can see I'm coming in at a pretty good clip here. I bring out my probe. So that guy right there has got a stick inside a basket that's hanging off a fuel line. Just seems terribly dangerous. But I never get close. So, well, I get close, but I never get in there. I got my speed brake on right here. You can see that green light. And that stays on for the rest of the mission. I never turn it off. But just to try to bleed some speed, I bank right. And then I'm going to bank left. So I don't pass them. So a common theme throughout all of this is you'll notice as I'm far away from the guy, I do minor adjustments. And I think, can I do that now? Yeah. So here's my controls. This line right here is my throttle. At this point, it's in higher is afterburners, and this point is idle. And then this big red square in the middle here is my joystick. So you can see I'm making minor adjustments here as I'm coming in. But as like right here, I'm far away, and you can see my joystick doesn't do a lot. The throttle's moving quite a bit, just try to maintain a good speed. But the joystick doesn't, just doing minor corrections. But watch what happens here as I get close. So I don't know this at this point while I'm playing, but the speed of the tanker is 279. We're going to say knots just because it makes sense. 279 knots. So at 281, I'm climbing towards it. I'm doing good here. Then I don't know this, so I'm going to increase pretty far here. I'm going to have to back away, and then the speed reductions and changes in speed will change the pitch of the aircraft, which will then make me overcorrect, and I'd love to blame it just on that, but it's just pilot-induced oscillation to the extreme as I get close anyway. When I'm far enough away, I can I can maintain. I can do small adjustments. It's not a big deal. But when I get close, I see that basket, and I'm just like, got to get in there, and I tank it, as you're about to see here. So I mean, like, if you look at this, everything's stable, right? Like, I'm coming in, obviously at 285. I'm coming in. Everything looks good. I'm starting to lose it here. This is actually where I lost. I don't know it yet, but I'm going to try anyway to fix it. Kind of correct it, but not. I overcorrect the overcorrection, and it's bad. You can see my bank angles all over the place, and you can measure that right here. If it's lined up in the center like it is now, I'm not banked. I'm wings flat. And I'm high, so I'm low, and I'm overcorrecting, and I'm high, and I'm low, and I'm high, and I'm low, and I'm like, whoa, I'm overcorrecting. Let me back off, readjust.
Ready, pre-contact.
Let him know I've got this. He gives me, you got this. I come in, get a little crazy with the. Oh God, watching this after I've done it is terrible. I go a lot up and down there, and again, everything else looks good. No, and then I'm like, bah! Denied. All right, so yeah, I'll pause it until the next attempt. All right, so my next attempt coming in super hot, 300 knots when it's supposed to be not, but I break away in time. Now I overcorrect the speed even, and 269, so not terrible. I tell him I'm ready. He says go for it, and I go for it by overcorrecting and screwing it all up. This is just, I don't even want to watch. It's terrible. Like, the oscillation is terrible. All right, next attempt. All right, so at this point, I'm telling myself to relax. Just chill out. And I put my finger, my index finger on the top of the joystick. I saw that somewhere in a YouTube video to try doing that, and everything's good. And then I get close, and oh, here's my, well, I can't bring on my joystick without the screen blacking out at this point. So you can see there's still the overcorrection, even using an index finger on a joystick. And it's just terrible. I think I get close on this one, though. No, there's no way. It's terrible. Yep, no. So we'll pause to the next attempt. All right, here's our next attempt. Right at pilot-induced oscillation. This one actually looks pretty good, and then it doesn't. So I think I actually go to this one over here next. So let's try that guy, because I'm over here anyway. All right, so I'm trying this guy here, and just too aggressive, way too fast, and but determined. I'll give myself credit for determination. It's just terrible. All over the place. All right, next attempt. All right, so I'm coming in. I am dead on this one. Dead on. And then not dead on. But that was my closest one yet. So I was pretty happy there, and then when I didn't make contact, I got really frustrated, as you can imagine. If you're wondering why I keep looking this way, that's where my recording software is, and I'm about to pause it. So if you see this, I'm about to pause. So I'll pause it for the next attempt. Just real quick, again, notice speed brake still out. TACAN not configured. Not that I need it now. I'm right here, but just a lot of errors on this video. Freaking noob. And I'm letting this go here just to show you like how stable I am at this point. There's not a lot of movement in this stage of the game until I get closer. Obviously, I need to make some adjustments, and I make them. And you noticing this guy's not moving too much for bank angle. He's kind of staying there, like right in the middle. Here, let me black out the screen real quick. When I click over to the left screen, it does that. Bringing that up, you'll notice there's a lot of throttle movement. There's always going to be a lot of throttle movement just to maintain that, but there's not a lot of stick movement, and that's the crucial part. And like everything's just so smooth far away and so not smooth when I get close. So watch the stick. It never really left the center up to this point. Everything's dead on. A little correction there, yeah, I'll give you that. And right back on center. I went too far to the left, so I'm going to come back to the right. Back on center. This is to be expected. It's kind of like driving a car and keeping your car in the lane. There's always these tiny little corrections. And then I get up to the basket, it's like Dylan learning to drive with massive overcorrections that are looks like it's starting now. But I do get control of it. This is the same, if you notice the pause, this is the same run. Obviously too far to the right, but I don't want to overcorrect. So I'm going to bring it over just a little bit. You barely even saw that move. Now I got, yep, that move there just to kind of correct it back to center. But I did it too early. So I'm going to come back to the left. Center. Lead off the, yeah. And you ready for overcorrection time? Pilot induced oscillation. Go. Actually, on this attempt, I don't get too crazy with it. Definitely, yep, there we go. There we go. There it is. Oh, yeah, look at that. Do you see the stick? Look how far left and right they went. Look at that. I can't even handle it. All right, next attempt. All right, so I think this is my last attempt. And already oscillation here. But I think I get pretty close on this one. Or maybe I don't, and that's why I gave up. I don't know. It doesn't look pretty. What's my speed? 279. All right. Stabilized here. Let me reset my Oculus or track IR there. I wish I had an Oculus. All right, so I think I'm lined up pretty good, and I start accelerating towards it. I mean, I'm not lined up anymore because I'm in my head. No, I don't get close at all. Oh, it's just frustrating. Oh, maybe I do get. No, no, I don't. No, it's all over the place. Can I save it? Can I save it? Not at 281. I'm going to fly right by it. Goodbye, basket.
Break away, break away, break away.
I guess I did get close. I paused it too early. Yeah, I'm all over the wire. Oh well. Alright, so at this point, I decide enough. I'm just going to have fun. And I go to stall. 51 knots. Basically a stall. And goodbye, tanker. So here I'm just going to fly as close to the water as I can. I never pull in my probe. At least my speed brake's off now. So I think that comes off automatically when you turn on your afterburner. So I'm full burning, full military power.
Altitude.
Going supersonic. Towards the deck. So almost 800 knots. But look at that gorgeous water. Look how beautifully that's rendered. It's a reflection of the sun, and it's a gorgeous game. All right, 80 feet. I think that's this. Oh no, I get 70. Okay. And then I just pull back on the stick. Nothing else. Full burners. Back on the stick. Try to do a big circle.
Roll left, roll left. Pull up, pull up. Altitude,
In
altitude.
the
Pull up.
drink. Asshole. Alright, so that's it. So you can see I have lots and lots of work to do. Yeah, it's not good. Anybody else watching this besides my father, if you play DCS and you'd love to give me pilot lessons, I'm down. But yeah, so there's me failing at air refueling. Hope you liked it, Dad.